If you're waking up at 1:47 a.m. again, your bladder might not be the first thing waking you. For millions of men over 60, sleep isn't simply broken, it's being interrupted on a schedule. And when that happens night after night, it doesn't just steal rest, it drains energy, sharpens irritability, and can leave you wondering whether something deeper is going on. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, and in this video, I want to explain why older men often wake up repeatedly to urinate, what that may have to do with the bladder and prostate, and the simple bedtime habit that may help some men sleep more soundly through the night. First, let's name the problem clearly. Clinically, waking from sleep to urinate is called nocturia. That matters because it's not just going to the bathroom at night. It's waking up, leaving bed, and then trying to get back to sleep. For many older men, that cycle happens once. For others, it happens 2, 3, or even more times a night. And this is common. In adults over 60, nocturia affects more than half of people. In US survey data, the share of men reporting 2 or more nightly bathroom trips rises sharply with age, reaching roughly 56% in men 75 and older. That means if this is happening to you, you are not alone. But common does not mean harmless. So what's actually happening? The answer is that nocturia is usually not one single problem. It's often one of several patterns or a combination of them. Sometimes the body makes too much urine at night. Sometimes the bladder can't hold as much as it used to. Sometimes the body makes too much urine all day and night. And sometimes, especially in older men, there are multiple reasons working together. One important piece is the prostate. As men age, the prostate can enlarge. This is called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. It's extremely common. Urinary symptoms consistent with BPH affect about 1 in 4 men by age 55, and about half of men by age 75. When the prostate enlarges, it can narrow the urethra and make it harder for urine to flow freely. That can lead to incomplete emptying, which means the bladder may still contain urine when you go back to bed. Over time, the bladder can also become more irritable or overactive. So the problem is not always just too much urine. Sometimes it's how the urine is being stored and released. But the prostate is not the whole story. Here's a surprise for many people. Some nighttime urination problems start with fluid that's already in the body before bedtime. During the day, fluid can pool in the legs, especially if someone sits a lot or has swelling in the ankles. When that person lies down at night, that fluid moves back into the bloodstream. The kidneys then filter it, and urine production goes up. Suddenly, the bathroom trips increase, not because the bladder suddenly failed, but because the body shifted the timing of fluid processing. There's another hidden driver we have to talk about: sleep apnea. Repeated breathing interruptions during sleep can trigger hormonal changes that increase nighttime urine production. In other words, a man may think his bladder is waking him up, when in fact sleep apnea is part of the chain reaction. And the important part is this: treating sleep apnea can reduce nocturia in many patients. So if you've been telling yourself it's just my age, I want to gently push back on that. Yes, aging changes the body, but waking multiple times every night is not something you should automatically accept without understanding why it's happening. The good news is that there may be a simple habit that helps some men reduce those trips. It starts before bed. If you tend to have ankle swelling or fluid buildup during the day, try elevating your legs in the early evening. That helps move fluid out of the legs before you lie down, so less of it gets converted into nighttime urine later. Then, right before bed, take one final, unhurried bathroom trip. This is a small routine, but for the right person, it can make a meaningful difference. There's also research supporting the idea that managing fluid redistribution can help. In a 2023 randomized trial, adults with nocturia who used daytime graduated compression stockings had fewer nighttime trips than those in the comparison group. That doesn't mean stockings are the answer for everyone. It does show that fluid management matters. And there are a few other bedtime habits worth knowing about. Avoid loading up on fluids late in the evening. Go easy on caffeine and alcohol near bedtime, since both can worsen urinary symptoms in some people. And if you take a diuretic, ask your doctor whether the timing should be adjusted. Sometimes moving that medication earlier in the day makes the night easier. Still, I want to be clear. Habit changes help most when they match the actual cause. That's why a simple bladder diary can be so valuable. For 3 nights, write down what time you drink, what time you urinate, and roughly how much. That record can help your doctor see whether the main issue is nighttime urine production, bladder capacity, late fluid intake, medication timing, or something else entirely. And here's why that matters so much. The fix is different depending on the cause. If the problem is BPH, the focus may be on the prostate and urinary flow. If it's an overactive bladder, the bladder itself may need treatment. If it's fluid shifting from the legs, the answer may be evening leg elevation, compression, or changes in daily routine. If sleep apnea is involved, treating breathing interruptions may improve the nighttime bathroom pattern. That's the real message here. Nocturia is not one disorder, it's a clue. A clue that can point toward prostate enlargement, bladder changes, fluid balance issues, sleep apnea, diabetes, infection, kidney disease, heart failure, or medication timing. And because the causes can be so different, the right evaluation matters. You should speak with a doctor or a urologist if nighttime urination is persistent, if the stream is weak, if it's hard to start urinating, or if you notice burning, pain, blood in the urine, fever, shortness of breath, leg swelling, sudden thirst, or unexplained weight changes. Those symptoms deserve attention. So let's bring it all together. If you're waking up several times a night to urinate, you are not weak and you are not alone. Your body may be trying to tell you something about your bladder, your prostate, your sleep, or your fluid balance. And in many men, a simple evening routine, especially leg elevation before bed and a calm final bathroom visit, may help support better sleep. But if the problem keeps going, don't just live with it. Get it checked. Bring the pattern to your doctor. Ask about BPH, bladder function, fluid redistribution, medication timing, and whether sleep apnea could be part of the story. A better night may start with a better explanation. Try a 3-night bladder diary and bring it to your doctor or urologist.